Welcome to multimedia. No.
No.
Not only are we not doing the normal podcast, it's also not called Multimedia Club anymore. Welcome to A24 Quest.
Huzzah!
So Josh just got back from Northern Invasion, and we're not going to talk about that in this because it's A24 Quest. And due to the weird schedule we have, we've already recorded this week's podcast. So look forward to talk about that next week.
You can thank that to Colin's schedule
Yes.
and mine.
Yes, I've been very, very busy doing Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The play, that is.
No, he's been there.
Yeah,
He's done that.
I've been writing it.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been writing the book.
I was just gonna say you went to Narnia, but I mean, let's be realistic, I guess.
Yeah. I'm done with that, and I didn't work today, and it was nice. And Josh is probably pretty tired.
I slept from 2 to almost 2.
Okay.
It was great.
Neat.
I'm still tired.
Yeah, I would be too. So we're gonna talk about 2 movies today, and I think this is gonna be. I don't think we're gonna be really in disagreement about them, but I think we're gonna have more interesting conversation about one than the other. So do you want to get the really bland, boring one out of the way first?
I mean, I think they're both pretty bland.
See, I disagree with you on that.
I
think Slow West is anything but bland from a technical standpoint. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's interesting. the choices made are just intriguing to me. So let's talk about Trespass Against Us.
All right.
The first of the Michael. No.
Yeah.
Yes. Michael Fassbender. That's what we were doing. Michael Fassbender marathon. Trespass Against Us is dull.
Yep.
And I was basically on my phone throughout the entire thing.
Oh, good.
So Slow West is about.
What was your favorite part?
If I could say anything good about Trespass Against Us, it definitely is well made in the sense that the shots are nice-ish, the acting's pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's pointless and dull and and very not captivating.
The dialogue and the plot are bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like everything else has everything going for it, but
Exactly.
the dialogue and the plot are just bad.
You know, I kind of perked my eyebrows up a little bit earlier in the movie. There's a chase scene at night, and I was like, this is a really well shot chase scene. It feels like something out of Drive. And I was like, that's amazing. And then it just went back to being just bland and boring. So it's there was a little bit of talent behind this movie, but it's very wasted on this movie.
There's a great scene where Brendan Gleeson and Michael Fassbender are driving in a car down a road, and they're having this really tense conversation, and there's this really kind of bouncy, light, poppy music playing on the radio.
Yeah.
And every time it would switch between the two characters talking, it would show one of them, and then it would show the outside window, outside of the car, down the road behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one would talk, and it would do the exact same, but on the other side. So you would never see the two in the same shot until then they both turn towards each other and start arguing more directly. And I thought that was wonderful. That was a fantastic shot.
So the cinematographer and the anybody responsible for the visual look of this movie, they deserve props because they did a good job. It's a well shot movie. But this is interesting because I always talk about how well shot movies are my thing. I love it when cinematography is great, but this goes to show that as important it is to me, if there's nothing going for the movie besides that, literally nothing, then I don't, and it's just not enough. Well, so this is an example of a movie where looking pretty nice isn't enough for me.
Well, and it wasn't outstandingly beautiful.
Yeah, no,
it was just above average.
Yeah, another movie where cinematography is basically the only thing it has going for it is Neon Demon. But the thing with that is it's really gorgeous cinematography. This is just they tried. it looks
they
nice.
did a good job.
Yes, I would say it looks nice. It's not like amazing, mind blowing or anything, but it's like it's not bad. It's the one aspect of the movie that's definitely not bad.
Oh my god! And as far as plot goes, there's this one part where Michael Fassbender is so mad. He's just talked to somebody, and they're like, "Yeah, no, your dad came by here and burned something, and now he ruined your entire future."
Mm-hmm.
And he's just seething with anger, and he gets in his car, he drives away, and then he goes back home, and he goes to confront his dad, and he's storming up, and they're arguing, and he's like, "I'm gonna murder you!" And he takes 2 steps forward, and his dad slaps him, and he falls over, and that's the end of the conflict.
Yeah.
That's the climax, is a little slap, he falls over, and then the dad goes inside, and then Michael Fassbender goes inside, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
You know what, to be honest with you, I kind of was vaguely aware that scene was happening, but I was so checked out at that point that I don't even think I realized
it was so sad.
How bad it was, but...
I was, like, totally expecting, like, a big old fight in, like, the mud.
Yeah.
You know, something interesting.
Like There Will Be Blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something good. Just something.
Yeah.
But no, it's a light punch to Fassbender, nothing that even hurt him.
Yeah.
By Brendan Gleeson, and then Brendan Gleeson like, I know better, and he goes inside.
Yeah.
Stupid.
This seems to me like the kind of movie that plays on moral ambiguity without actually taking a side in anything. Like, what I mean is, there's this conflict between Michael Fassbender and his dad, specifically regarding Michael Fassbender's children. Because it's like, Mike Fassbender wants a better life for them. He doesn't want them to be criminals. And Michael Fassbender's dad's like, we turned out all right. Why don't we let them join in a couple jobs? And that's like a conflict the whole movie, and it's never really resolved.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
That, and I don't like a single person in this movie.
Yeah, there's no likable characters at all. I mean, I really like Brendan Gleeson, but I just like the actor, not the character. Like,
as far as the character, he's a horrible person.
Yeah, right.
He's like this awful dad. He's like, you want to go and get a better life for you and your kids? No.
Yeah.
No, we're going to go rob a bank.
Yeah, right.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. I think he was the, as a character, he was, just an awful character, of course, but, like, him as an actor was the only thing, like, keeping me kind of invested, because like, he's such a good actor.
His character was okay, like, it could have been played out alright if he would have been turned into this kind of mob character, but he was just portrayed as this bad dad.
Yeah, right.
And you know what? As funny as bad dads are in real life, they don't make for good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just boring.
Yeah, no, this movie's just boring first and foremost. I'm not going to put it down with, like, The Captive.
No, it's not, like, I don't know what's happening.
Because it's not insulting enough to be put down with The Captive.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's better than, Ginger and Rosa.
They knew what they were doing, but they had no strong vision. They had no conviction to make it stand out.
Yeah.
So it's a perfectly competent movie, just they didn't know what they were doing when it comes to, like, making you care about anything.
Well, and I just think that whoever was writing the plot just didn't know what was happening. They're like, we're going to try to make this weird thriller. It's going to be good. Oh, but we're also supposed to make it this drama with a dad and a son who has a son. Yeah. And then we're also going to make it so that everybody thinks about father figures is supposed to be political commentary about the system. Yeah. It didn't know what it was trying to do, really.
Here's the issue. The movie has no character. That's another issue. The writing's bad and it has no character. Like, you look at Edgar Wright. His movies are dripping with character, whether you like it or not. This movie is so generic. And so, like, anybody could, a film student could have made this. It's just so uninteresting.
Yeah.
And so it just blends into the crowd. I was watching it and I was like, this is just nothing unique about it. So, yeah, it's just a shame because, well, I was going to say, The only wasted potential here is those people who worked on the cinematography and they actually managed to get some nice shots out of it. They should have worked on Dunkirk or something. Well, when did this movie come out? Was it 2015?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
They can probably still use this movie in their, their resume.
Yeah,
because it still shows their talent.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it's just as far as the writers go, they probably should bury this one.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't have anything great about it as far as any of the writing.
It's a decent performance from Brendan Gleeson. I mean, he's a good actor. Yeah. He can turn a good performance out of anything. And Michael Fassbender's not bad in the movie.
Fine.
He's fine. It's just they should have gotten a better script and just a better movie.
Yeah.
Instead of something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe it was pitched to them and it sounded really interesting. It's this crime family in Britain. And they live out in the middle of nowhere. And the kids want to have a normal life. And they're like, okay, this could be really gritty and really interesting.
Well, because it has some potential here and there. But it just doesn't come together at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Everything's conflicting and it just doesn't work.
Right. Speaking of conflicting... I want to talk about Slow West now.
Sure.
So here's the thing. Okay. Here is my view of Slow West. Let me know if you agree. It's not a good movie. Not really a good movie. I think I gave it 6 stars on Letterboxd. I'd probably drop it down to 5. The reason I gave it a high-ish rating is I was so fascinated by this movie. It's a okay. So I don't even know where to begin with this. It's basically a Western that's also kind of a drama, also a comedy, I guess, which is a thing that took me way by surprise.
Is it funny?
Yeah. There's a lot of very blatant visual gags. I'm not talking this isn't a, what was that movie that I found funny and you didn't think was funny?
I know what you're talking about.
What's the name of it? Remember.
Yeah.
This isn't a Remember case. This isn't Remember.
No, I'm just asking.
Where I just interpreted it as being funny when it probably wasn't meant to be. This is literally, they were going for a comedic tone. It's pretty obvious.
I watched this one a week ago, so it's going to be a little bit fuzzier in my mind.
Yeah, and I just watched it last night, midnight last night, and it's very fresh in my mind. There's slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
In certain scenes, there's a scene where two natives steal their horses, but then since they have that clothesline between the horses,
yes,
it stops the horses and flings them off into the trees.
That's right.
And it's right out of Looney Tunes.
Well, doesn't Michael Fassbender turn and say, "Good one"?
Yeah,
or something.
No. Yeah, it's in that same scene, the kid gets an arrow through his hand.
That's right.
And Michael Fassbender, I forget what he says. He drops a one-liner. He was nice catch.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And I was
oh.
And that's not even the tip of the iceberg. There's multiple scenes that have actual comedic slants, and it's odd. I don't think it fits.
Not
the movie
really.
For the most part is trying to be taken somewhat seriously. And there's okay, this is something that maybe it wasn't a gag and maybe it just turned out so poorly that it looked like a gag. But there's a shot of the gang in the grass in the finale of the movie. And they're popping up one by one whack-a-moles and shooting and ducking down. Yeah, because it was so funny.
It's so stupid.
I was what? It looks like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre. There's a lot of stuff like that in the movie.
Yeah. Let's okay, so the scenes that really stick out to me are the one where this guy's wandering around and then all of a sudden, bang, he's got a partner. It's okay.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
The like I said in Discord, the pretenses for these two like going on a journey together are so flimsy. Like he just shows up without any explanation.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, I'll be coming with you, kid." It's like, what?
Pay me money, I'll take you.
Yeah.
I'll take you.
It's like between Michael Fassbender's character being introduced and the decision that they're gonna go on a journey together takes like maybe like less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's so blatant that they're like, let's just get this out of the way. So, who cares about explaining it? We're just gonna. And this is a New Zealand film.
Is it?
Fun fact, it is. It was made by the New Zealand or funded by the New Zealand Film Board. So I assume.
That's neat.
The
flood scene. I remember the flood scene.
Right. Yeah, the flood scene. I'm just like jumping from thought to thought because it's like I had so much to talk. Here's the thing.
What's the point of the flood scene?
What
does it do?
I don't know. It's just an inconvenience.
It's just a stupid. The only reason for it is because of that clothesline scene. That's all I can think.
That's the payoff.
Because what happens is they get in a flood, they get out of the flood, they're fine, and then he takes a rope and he ties it between the two horses. And they put their clothes on it like a clothesline.
It's to show them.
And Michael Fassbender says, "Nice one."
Yeah.
And then they get their horses stolen, and then the Indians go, they get on the tree, they go flying.
Yeah.
Bang. And then there's a joke.
Yeah. I guess it's to show that, like, the kid can, like, prove himself even when the times are tough. I don't know. Now, see, here's the thing, right? Even outside of the weird comedy that worked surprisingly well for me, there are, like, good scenes here and there. There's a scene where this guy, one of the criminals, is telling a story. And the way it handles the flashback and shows the story is very interesting and very, Edgar Wright-esque. And I thought, I was baffled because I was like, why are we getting this, like, good scene out of nowhere? Most of the movie is filler. Most of the movie is kind of, they're doing stuff and it's not particularly interesting, but every once in a while it has these confounding, brilliant moments.
Yeah, it has some really beautiful stuff in it.
Yeah, it's so weird. Specifically, the scene that stuck out to me is he meets this weird German philosopher out in the middle of the wilderness.
Yeah, I remember that scene too.
And I was like, this feels like a different movie. It's like a surprisingly,
Okay, let me tell you how it goes. He meets Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
They go on a ways. Michael Fassbender kills some guys. He's like, I don't want to ride with a murderer. And then he sneaks out in the middle of the night. And he meets this philosopher.
Who leaves him an egg.
Yeah, and then the philosopher takes everything. His horse, everything.
Yeah.
And leaves him an uncooked egg.
Yeah. And
then Michael Fassbender just shows up in the desert.
Yeah.
With his horse.
And then they're just back on the adventure.
Yeah, and then they just keep going.
It derails the plot for no reason. It's
Now, this isn't us just shortening the plot for no reason. This is literally what happens.
It's a very short movie. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Oh. Which is, like, surprising to me. And I don't know, before I forget it, the other, like, blatant visual gag that actually got a chuckle out of me. Like, the other stuff, I didn't laugh. I was just, like, mouth agape because I was like, I didn't realize this is what this movie was. The one that actually got a chuckle out of me is we're just full spoilers. Literally, like, if you were gonna watch this movie, just who cares about the plot? You're gonna watch it just for how bizarre the structure is. The end of the movie, the girl that he's been chasing the entire movie, he shows up and she just fatally wounds him by shooting him through the heart. which is already symbolic. And then she sees an Indian boy, a native boy, kissing her, and that puts salt on the wound for him, because not only did she shoot him, now she's kissing some other guy. And then a bullet, like, people are shooting at the house, and a stray bullet explodes a case of salt above him, and literal salt starts pouring on his wounds. And it's like... It's so surreal and bizarre that I just laughed.
Well, and then
because it's such a
yeah
blatant visual representation of salt on the wound, where he literally gets salt in his wound. It's like
well, and then Michael Fassbender was just there.
Yeah, throughout that whole shootout, he does nothing. He's just there.
He's just there.
He's like out back and wounded, and he's like smoking a cigar, and he's like whistling to himself, but he doesn't participate in the fight.
Not really.
Because he shows up, he gets shot, and then he just drags himself away.
And he just sits there for the rest of the movie, essentially.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
It's so bizarre. And then the payoff at the end is Michael Fassbender, like
that's right.
He now lives with the girl, like the main character's girlfriend, because the main character's dead, and now Michael Fassbender and this random Scottish girl just live together.
Well,
now.
yeah, and the Native American guy died too, didn't he?
Yeah, he died too.
Yeah.
So they just live together now.
Yeah, they're
like, what?
Which is good because Michael Fassbender had a wife at one point, I guess.
Yeah, you know the reason Michael Fassbender couldn't die is he's the star power. You know, notice his face is plastered all over all the advertising, despite him not really being the main character.
I guess.
Like
I mean, it's so ridiculous. It's just this movie doesn't make sense.
And he's not particularly good in this movie.
Nobody's
the difference
particularly good in this movie.
No, nobody's good in it. No, nobody's good in it. The villain is particularly bad.
Yeah.
Again, he feels like a cartoon character. This movie has this odd predisposition of making everything feel like surreal and cartoonish, which I appreciate.
The best character
right.
of all of them is the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Is he in there?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen Game of Thrones. So
I think it's the Mountain from Game of Thrones, at least.
This has got like
He's the dad.
It's got a halfway decent cast, so I wouldn't be surprised. There's Ben Mendelsohn is in there. So you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like this honestly, do you have anything else to say about it? Because I can wrap it together in a nice little bow here if you want.
No, I don't. It's just meh.
Okay, see, here's what I'm gonna say. If we're talking Slow West, no, I think the title will actually be Trespass Against Us versus Slow West. I don't want to mix the order up. If we're talking Trespass Against Us versus Slow West, I'm going to go Slow West, because Trespass Against Us was far more competent, but it was way less interesting. To me, Slow West is baffling, and I like that about it. I didn't hate watching it, and I wasn't like constantly checking the time, because I was like, how could this train wreck get any weirder? And it kept getting weirder.
That's fair.
So therefore, I gotta give it to Slow West. If I were to recommend one of these movies, I would strongly recommend Slow West. If you just wanted just an interesting piece. Not a good bad movie, not like a terrible movie, not like a good movie. It's just study it. You're in film class. You should do it, like write a paper on Slow West and why it failed. Because it so many things clashed and so many things contradicted themselves, and it's just a movie.
You want to say that one more time?
It's just a movie.
I mean, so my recommendation is don't watch either of these.
But if you had to choose one,
if you had to pick one, I would probably say watch the one that makes you want to watch it more. So either this really stupid Western that's kind of funny, or this really stupid thriller drama that's kind of stupid.
Yeah. There's more entertainment to be had.
But if I had to rewatch one,
yeah,
I'd probably watch Slow West.
Yeah, to catch the comedy.
I mean, I caught it the first time.
Right.
I just didn't care enough to remember it.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's that. So yeah, I guess Slow West wins.
Yay! I was hoping you'd say that. Fun fact, I actually directed Slow West. This has been a ploy. It's the sequel to East of Enchilada.
Oh my god, I knew it.
I got Michael Fassbender. Oh boy. Well, I hear he'll do anything these days, so.
Alright, so I suppose we have to pick the next week.
Is it my turn?
I was going to ask you, were you Ex Machina week? Or was I Ex Machina week? Because I think it was you.
Oh, jeez, I don't remember.
What did we paired? What was...
No, the
me?
Ex Machina week
was that Florida Project? Because then it would be me.
Yeah, no, it was you that...
Okay, then it's you.
I didn't pick Ex Machina, I feel like.
No, that was just in the week.
Yeah, right. Because you were like, for Florida Project, you wanted to pair it with another good movie, so you went Ex Machina.
Okay, yeah, so then that was me. So we got Barely Lethal coming up.
Okay.
And then whatever you pick.
Alright, time to get on that. I need to open up A24 here real quick.
Whatever you do, don't pick Mojave. Or do.
I'm super excited for How to Talk to Girls at Party to be, available.
I know.
I may even go see that in a theater if I can see it in a theater that supports Movie Pass. I don't think I will be able to, but I might.
That'd be neat.
Because I really want to see that one. It looks weird. Okay, let's pick one here. We're running out of movies, Josh.
We're not running out of movies yet.
Running out of movies.
Look at all those movies. You could pick any of them.
I feel like I had something planned. I don't remember. Let's look at Barely Lethal and see what I can pair with it.
Alright, Barely Lethal. We got fighting.
I don't recognize anyone except for Jessica Alba and Samuel L. Jackson. Who is in this movie?
What? I don't recognize anyone. Except for Jessica Alba and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, no. I have this bizarre growth in my brain that means that all my memory is gone except for Jessica Alba and Samuel L. Jackson.
That's fantastic. You know, those two very unknown actors.
Every single week, I very nearly pick Mississippi Grind, but I'm not going to pick it this week. I want to pick something good. No offense to Barely Lethal, but I'm just saying more often than not, this type of movie turns out to be not very good.
What type of movie is it?
One that I haven't heard of.
Okay.
There are a couple exceptions, but usually these tend to be kind of bland. I'm just making a guess. So let's pick a movie that I know. Let's go Green Room.
Don't.
No. Are we pairing that with something?
No.
Oh. Why not?
What?
Oh, I thought you said don't.
No, I said dope.
Dope. Okay, dope.
Great.
Sorry, I misheard you.
You know why that's pretty cool?
Because it's got somebody named Imogen Poots in it.
You bet. You want to know why else it's pretty cool?
Why?
My mom and my brother just watched that, so then I can talk to them about it too.
Sweet.
So cool, we got Barely Lethal and
Or
Green
we could
Room.
do Remember. I don't think we've done that before.
I don't remember.
Barely Lethal and Green Room. Let's do it, everybody.
Alright.
I hear Green Room's really depressing.
Good.
So let's check it out, man.
Great. Can't wait.
This has been A24 Quest.
Hallelujah.
Signing out. Wait.
Oh.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm waiting.
Hold on.
I'm waiting.
Okay, Google. How are you today?
That's really quiet.
Yeah, you can't even hear it. That was bad. Anyway. I was gonna do an outro where I talk to Google for a little bit, but my phone's super quiet.
Siri. Mine didn't even make a noise. It just buzzed.
What is the best A24 movie?
Yeah, let me.
I'm sorry.
Ah! Siri.
I'm here.
Should we watch Barely Lethal or Green Room? Oh,
Here's Barely Lethal.
Well,
that's not it. Is that it? That's it.
what?
That's it.
Director Kyle Newman? Wait. That's not it.
What? There's Jessica Alba and Samuel Jackson.
Well, that's a very different poster than how I was expecting.
I know.
It looks like a Legally Blonde spinoff.
It does.
That's weird.
Alright, well here, let's try Siri again. Siri,
I'm here.
end our show.
Sorry, I couldn't find anything called Endure.
Well, that's it.
Technology's failed me again.
Couldn't find it, so I guess that's it. This has been bad.